Friends, in this video I'm going to discuss industrial revolution. As I discuss 18th century major features, changes in language, so there are three important events of 18th century that includes industrial revolution, American revolution and French revolution. So I'll discuss these three events in detail. So let's start by discussing industrial revolution. So it was in 1760 to 1840. So what does mean by this industrial revolution? So as you know, revolution, any change, any type of transformation or change in a society is known as revolution. So it was a time period from 18th to 19th century, and there was a shift, a changes in agriculture, manufacturing, mining, transportation, technology, science, and each and every aspect of life. Especially they were inclined towards modernism. So cultural conditions, socio-economically, so there was a huge change take place due to industrialization, and now we'll see that is the industrial revolution. So it take place in Britain and then spread throughout the Europe and throughout the world. And industrial revolution, so why did industrial revolution started? So for this purpose we have to look at it background. Before industrial revolution, manufacturing work took place at homes and rural areas by people, done by hand, and it's a very slow process. So with passage of time, the population increased and more demand for food and products. So people lived in fear that the crops grow might fail, and they suffer from malnutrition. And apart from these, diseases and epidemics were there. So they just need a revolution. So what they did, they need, so they just they just demand a more rapid process that could be done. So machines were invented, machines were introduced to enhance the effective production. So from Britain, because it had natural, it emerged from Britain, industrial revolution, because it has natural resources, coal, iron ore, and many farmlands and all other resources in Britain. So causes of industrial revolution include the urge to increase the quality of human life, to upgrade life, and to make improvements in the living of people, and to make technological advancement led to causes of industrial revolution. Yes, we see during industrial revolution a rapid advancement in technology, science, and all aspects of life. And the causes of industrial revolution was dependency on technology, impact of education, and Protestant Reformation. So here we'll see some inventions, some important machines inventions of industrial revolution. James Watt created the reliable steam engine. Yes, steam engine, which is very popular and most notable invention of that age. And other inventions include Robert Fulton regular steamboat, and Samuel F.B. Morse telegram, and Nikola Tesla electric motor, and then Thomas Edison the light bulb, Alexander Graham Bell telephone. So these are very important inventions of, or machines you can say, of that industrial revolution period. And steam engine, yeah, it's a very important invention in history, as well as the most prominent of all. During industrial revolution, development of all metal machines, tools in first 2 decades of 19th century, and affecting most of the world as a process that continues as industrialization. And another so it was invented by James Watt, I already told you. So factory owners needed a way to efficiency and cheaply production of energy. So they do this by use of steam engine, and this is Stephenson's locomotive machine, and this so it can drag 30 tons of material till 4 miles. And Robert Fulton's steamboat is very important invention as well. So it was the first book on practical, financial, and commercially successful steamboat. And agriculture, now we'll see the development in agriculture sector. So agriculture revolution began in early 17th with Englishmen. It began in Britain, and there was increase in crop yields. Knowledge about the techniques would allow plants to grow and new agriculture techniques, and they employed modern methods of fertilizers, minerals, soil contents, and they use new tools and machinery for this purpose, new plows, rakes, and other machinery to make the process more rapid. And this is Jethro Tull. So Jethro Tull invented the seed drill, which could be pulled behind a horse to enhance the process of agriculture. So Lord Townshend, this is another Lord Townshend. He discovered a merely popularized that this he process of crop formation. Crops were grown in rotation cycle like these. And Robert Bakewell's work, okay, great invention towards random breeding, known as all and in and all in sorry. So it results in many different breeds with their own unique and random characteristics, and this breeding included both plants and animals as well. So different breeding techniques have been applied there, and a rapid enhancement in textile sector or textile industry as well. So advancement was made in use of machinery, so which was cheaper, and the products they produce were sold at reasonable prices. So in 1813, Francis Cabot Lowell, he set up the first American textile factory, and this is Ely Winstead cotton green. And this cotton green processing less labor, demands less labor, and help planters earn greater profit. And then the spinning jenny. So James Hargreaves' spinning jenny revolutionized the process of cotton spinning, and John Kay's flying shuttle it again. The flying shuttle allowed the threads to be woven at faster rate, and process of manufacturing get a boost. So there was also a revolution take place in transport sector as well. Transport raw materials and finished goods over long distances, so they need a sophisticated transportation system. So types of transportation they use include waterways, roads, railroads, and transportation via water was very cheapest way to move goods. And some more inventions include Stephenson's rocket, and it was built and designed with the help of his son Robert and Henry both, and the rocket reached over the speed of 250 meters per mile and during the 20 laps of course, and it can be seen as a science museum in London. And most important work is that of the Wright brothers. They invented aeroplane, and then Henry Ford, he invented assembly line as his automobile company. And there was a rapid advancement in medicine sector as well, and as we see in previous ages, diseases, epidemics, so there was a need for medicine. So there are many medical advances occurred there, and some examples include the smallpox vaccination, discovery of anesthesia, a medicine, and discovery of X-ray, invention of aspirin, blood transfusion system was introduced there. And the most important name in medicine is Louis Pasteur for his germ theory and his major contribution to microbiology and medicines. And he discovered the immunization process and introducing the medical world to the concept of viruses as well. And his practical work, will see, he treated a boy. Okay, we'll see Edward Jenner, who was a victim of smallpox, and he practically implied this immunization using viruses to treat the disease. You see, and there was also advancement in communication sector as well. So due to industrial revolution, people moved from rural areas to urban areas for the luxuries, for comfort. So improvements were made in communication. So in 17, let me give you an example. In 1700, it took 4 days to contact from London to Manchester, but in 1880 it took only 4 hours. But even in modern world, it becomes even more shorter. And Samuel F.B. telegraph system, we see, and Alexander Graham Bell telephone discover, which is very important in communication. And so the discovery of telephone enable us to communicate with anyone in any place, in anywhere on this earth. And now we'll see the impact of industrial revolution. It has both positive and negative impacts. So we'll see positive impacts first. Inventions such as steam engine push Britain and other nations toward manufacturing and engineering power. And Britain was for the wealthiest nation at the time. And the positive outcomes or effects include improvement in infrastructure, building, architecture, modern inventions. As we see, all of these modern inventions: telephone, telegraphic system, steam engine, aeroplane. Class structure means the quality of life enhance, erosion of gender inequality, and then improvement in education, in learning, in science, in technology as well. And the negative impacts include working conditions. So with the rapid growth of industries, people work at industries very hard at low pay. So working conditions were worst, and again an important problem arise at industrial revolution is the concept of child labor. So small children were employed at work at industries, and rural urban migration was there. Okay, sorry about that. Rural urban migration. Yes, the people from rural areas began to migrate to urban areas for luxuries and facilities. So there was a rapid growth of population. So population became an important problem, and which led to pollution, different kinds of pollution, land, air, water pollution, and child labor. See the picture, the children was employed to work and the hardship they face, and child labor during industrial revolution. It so workers workers over 14% and workers under 14 include 86%. See how rapidly it increased child labor during as so pollution was there due to modern machinery, the vehicle smoke of industries. So it become major problem. Industrial revolution today. So yes, it's still today. Every technological advancement made is a sign of industrial revolution. So it does not end in 18th century, but still industrial revolution is there. New inventions have been made in science and technology in today's world. More sophisticated machines were discovered. An example of industrial revolution also include social media or the internet. Means this technological advancement and internet is bringing revolution among us, and so we'll see the problems we face still today: the climate change, population overpopulation, pollution problems, and many more problems. So industrial revolution is still today, and what we ought to do is to focus on positive aspect and try to minimize the negative aspect. So that's all for today. Hope you understand. The notes are in the description. Thank you for watching.